Good day, this is William Garvey, Editor-in-Chief of Business and Commercial Aviation magazine. Today we're speaking with Robert Sumwalt, a former airline captain and corporate flight department manager who was appointed as a member of the National Transportation Safety Board, the NTSB, by President George W. Bush in 2006. Robert, you've said that two accidents make you angry. The balloon crash in Texas last July and the Gulfstream G4 takeoff crash in Bedford, Massachusetts back in 2014. Why those tragedies in particular?
Well, I think all of the accidents that we deal with are extremely troubling, but those stand out. I'll start with the G4 at Bedford. Just the egregious non-compliance with procedures, and we can all forget to do a checklist or forget something, but as we found out, there was a flight crew there. That flight crew had not done a complete flight control check in 173 of the past 175 flights, and that is extremely troubling. Why would a professional pilot operate that way? And then when it comes to the balloon accident that killed 16 people, there's a case there where the pilot, he couldn't even drive a car legally until the year 2020 because he had his driver's license suspended for multiple DUIs, and yet he could hang out a shingle to carry people in a balloon. And so both of those are troubling for different reasons.
Often it seems to take, years for an NTSB recommendation to be adopted by the FAA. Does the board need the power to regulate?
I personally do not believe the board needs the power to regulate, and the reason I say that is that I'm afraid we would talk ourselves out of many recommendations saying, oh, that would never happen, or we could never get that one passed, or that one's too impractical. I think that our job is to find out what happened and then come up with innovative recommendations for if this was done, this could prevent future accidents. If we had the regulatory authority, we would talk ourselves out of many recommendations. That's what I believe.
Is it reasonable that, some of these quite sensible recommendations, sensible in terms of safety, enhancing safety, that they can take a decade to be adopted?
As a citizen, I like the fact that we don't have an overly burdened government, a heavy-handed government. But as a safety advocate, I will have to say that I think our regulatory process is broken. It should not take 10 years to get a recommendation passed. I do realize that there needs to be a cost-benefit analysis, and again, back to a citizen, I think that's good because we want to make sure that the government is considerate when they impose regulations. But my goodness, 10 years? That's too long.
Speaking of years, by the way, you've been a member of the board for over a decade yourself, and with a remarkable record, my compliments. But what happens next?
I'm not sure what is next for me. I have thoroughly enjoyed and appreciated the honor to serve on the board. I just hope wherever I end up next, I'm able to make positive contributions in some organization in some form or fashion.
We've been speaking with Robert Sumwalt, a board member of the NTSB. This is William Garvey, editor of Business and Commercial Aviation magazine. Thanks for your interest.